conference realignment update. There is a lot going on in conference realignment. There's teams moving. There's teams being added to FBS. One team. We'll get to that in a second here. But yeah, there is a lot happening, and I have to break some news. Breaking news. I know you guys already know this, but breaking news. The Pac-12 is back. One of the best football conferences in college football is the Pac-12. You got the Pac-12 as one of my favorite conferences. You have the old Southwest Conference, which was great. You have the Big Ten SEC. Those are always staples. And then ACC Big 12. And I got to say, I love the Pac-12. The idea of the Pac-12, the champion, just close your eyes and just picture the Pac-12 championship game and everything it meant in that conference. It was so good. It was so good. That is what you love about college football. That is at least what I love about college football. So what's going on in conference realignment is the question. Well, the Pac-12 plans to receive top Mountain West teams into their conference. So, and the top teams are Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, San Diego State, Utah State, and Texas State. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 teams. They will be joining Washington State and Oregon State, which the minimum amount of teams that you can have in a conference is 8. According to college football NCAA, is 8. So they will have 8. I think Conference USA has 8, so I think that's the smallest conference, other than independent, obviously. But yeah, so they have to have 8. They are going to have 8, or are they? They might have 9. Breaking news, as of a few days ago, the North Dakota State Bison are now FBS teams. I've been waiting for this for at least the last year. They're planning to join the Mountain West Conference as the newest member of FBS, and they are doing that in football only. So they are not doing that in basketball, baseball, hockey, whatever. They're only doing it in football. This is only football movement. So what are my thoughts on North Dakota State joining the Mountain West? I got to say, I love it. I love it. And here's why. Because they have dominated FCS ranks for years. They've won 10 of the last 15 FCS championships. That right there tells you that they need to move up. So they're moving up. But are they going to be competitive is the question. Or are you going to see them as a competitive team moving forward? I think you will. I think you're going to see them as a top Mountain West team because I think they have so much momentum going into the FBS ranks. I think that they're going to be such a good team, especially that they can get better talent. So give me North Dakota State in the Mountain West. That sounds like a great combo. A great combo. I love that. And originally I thought they were going to join the Pac-12, but they're joining the Mountain West. If they become good enough, maybe they'll join the Pac-12. I don't know. Or the Big 12. We'll see. But yeah, I am very excited for North Dakota State to join. I think that there's potential there. Now, I don't have their schedule or anything, but we can break them down as a team going into, spring ball and camp intel and all that. We'll break them down as a team. But as of right now, where it stands, I'm excited to see this because I think what this adds is it adds more college football fans, and it's another team to root for because who doesn't want to see North Dakota State good? That's players like Trey Lance came from there, and a lot of decent players in the NFL came from North Dakota State. So they can get talent, but most of all, they can develop talent. So I'm excited to see what they could do, maybe dabble in some NIL, maybe get some top recruits. I'm not saying they're going to go out and fight for 4 and 5 stars, but they can go get some 3 stars. They can go out and get some Fernando Mendoza type players. And I'll be excited to see what they can do there. But like I said, with them joining the conference, I think that just adds another level to college football because you can never, I don't want to say that. You can have too many college football teams in Division I, but I think North Dakota State is a team that needed to be added. Now you might be saying, well, what about South Dakota State? Are they still going to play? I would assume they would play out of conference, but I do think that rivalry is going to be down now because you have North Dakota State. That's probably going to dominate the rivalry. That'd be my guess, is they're going to dominate the rivalry because they're going to be able to get better players. So, like I said, maybe South Dakota State will eventually join the Mountain West in Division I ranks, but we'll see. But I am excited for this. I think this is kind of what college football needed. I think this is just a big update. Conference realignment, Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, San Diego State, Utah State, Texas State, all joining the Pac-12. I think that's going to be a phenomenal league. It's not going to be like anything that's like jumps out at you. It's not going to be, like what the Big Ten and SEC are, or even the ACC Big 12, but it's going to be a competitive league. You can look at it as a newer league. So take like Conference USA, they're a newer type league. It's going to be a competitive league. Now, it's not going to be, you're not going to have phenomenal, exceptional players in there. I mean, you're going to have players like Boise and Colorado and even San Diego State, Utah State. Fresno State's not horrible. They're decent some years, and Texas State's a fun team. There's going to be teams in there that are going to be able to get some talent, but most of all, it just adds another depth, and like I said, who doesn't want to see the Pac-12 back? I'm all for it. Can't wait. I'm so glad for this conference realignment. I'm all for it. Not only I'm not for conference realignment, I'm not for playoff expansion. I'm not an expansionist, but I am for this realignment because it brings back what was good in college football. Most of the time in college football, when we take a step forward and it's a bad step forward, we never take that step backward to go back to the good. Like college football playoff, we're never going to go backwards in the amount of teams. We're only going to go forwards, which in my opinion is not a good thing. But where college football stands right now with conference affiliation, it makes sense right now. Now, except for Stanford and Cal playing in the ACC when you could see the Pacific Ocean and they play teams that can see the Atlantic Ocean, that makes no sense. But again, bringing the Pac-12 back makes sense. So I just think it's going to be good for all-around college football, and I cannot wait to see North Dakota State in the Mountain West as well. So that's my full conference realignment update.